Okay, Gossam here. So we're going to simplify each exponential expression. So let's start at number 1. So we have a cubed times a to the 5th. So since we are multiplying, you know that the rule would be to add your exponents, because what we'll have is a times a times a multiplied a times a times a times a times a. So if you see this, all of these are being multiplied together, so what we're doing is we're adding them. So that's why we say 3 plus 5, which is a to the 8th power. And we cannot simplify this any further because we have a variable to an exponent, and so in this case this would be your final answer, a to the 8th. Now let's look at number 2. So since we multiplied over here and we added over here, since we're dividing, we are going to subtract. So we have 5 on the numerator and 9 in the denominator. So what we'll have is 5 minus 9. So b to the 5 minus 9. So 5 minus 9 is negative 4. And again, we don't want any negative exponents. So how do we get rid of a negative exponent? You put it on the other side of the fraction line. So what that means is, in this case, b to the negative 4 is in the numerator. We are going to flip it and put it in the denominator. And now we have 1 over b to the 4th. And that will be our final answer. Again, because we do not have a number to a power, so we can't simplify any further. So number 3. Looking at number 3, we have c to the 4th, and then we have these parentheses, and then that is squared. So what this is actually saying is you have c to the 4th times c to the 4th. So what we do is we're going to multiply these 2 times 4, and that's going to give us 8. But this is another way to write it, c to the 4th times c to the 4th. Again, we know that when you multiply, you're adding exponents. So that's why these will be the same thing. So when you have the parentheses, you will take 4 and you will take 2 and you will multiply them together. You get c to the 8th power, and that will be your final answer. You can kind of think that you're taking the 2 and you're distributing it to every exponent that there is inside of the parentheses. Okay, so now let's look at number 4. Number 4, now these next 3 we have numbers, so we're going to simplify past after our first step. So we have 7 minus 3, so we're going to have 3 to the power of 4, because 7 minus 3 is 4. So 3 to the 4th, you'll plug that in your calculator, or you can say 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and you will get 81. And 81 would be your final answer there. Again, let's go ahead and look at number 5. So we have the parentheses. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 3 and distribute it in. So 3 times 2 gives me 6. So we have 2 to the 6th, which will be 64. So that's the final answer is 64 on number 5. Now let's look at number 6. Number 6, we have 4 cubed times 4, and there's no exponent. So if there isn't an exponent, you will always put a 1, because it's like 4 to the 1st power, which is just 4. So in this case we have 3 and 1, and so we will add these. So we'll have 4 to the 4th, which is 256. And so this is how you simplify each exponential expression, and now you know more.